Glenn Parker High Vibration Foundation. I wanted to talk about the idea of the OverSoul today. I had reviewed some information a little while ago, and today it was reinforced by the Hathors that you are your OverSoul. There is no differentiation between the two. Now, you chose to forget and come to a forgetting plane of reality, a lower density plane of a reality. Not any better, not any worse than being on an OverSoul vibration, just a different experience, some differentiation to have some different experiences. Everything in existence is separated by frequency. The one, or all that is all that is. It's everything experiencing itself as multiple things. So you're a differentiated soul from the OverSoul that chose to have an earth plane experience. But you're at the same time not separate from the OverSoul, the greater being that you are, the holistic being that you are, that Bashar talks about, that everybody else talks about, Kidioki and all of the YahYel that come through. They all say that this integration of remembering that you are an OverSoul and your OverSoul vibration is more of the holistic being that you are, and just acknowledging that at the very least is the first step in many things in integrating as a holistic being, which is the first step to first contact, and going on to this parallel reality plane, the differentiation between a 3D reality, a third density reality, and a fourth, or what a lot of people like to call fifth density reality, depending on who is defining it. So it really is just being easier on yourself and understanding that it's not happening to you, it's happening by you. You are the OverSoul. You chose to forget. There's no one dangling the strings. In this aspect of forgetting, there is a higher dimensional plane in the fourth density state, which is the template reality. And you have laid out a chessboard, and you're a piece on it in this earth reality, and you have put attributes that you wanted to experience. For instance, if you're going through certain things in your life and you're wondering why, it is anything that you're experiencing is something that you've laid out. Now, sometimes these things aren't exactly the way that you might have laid them out, because there's a lot of times resistance to these things, or you think that they should happen a certain way. I thought I should have got that job position, or I thought my lover shouldn't have been cheating, or that person should love me, or we put all these definitions on things that they should happen a certain way, and there's no way the human mind has not been constructed to know how things are going to happen. Only what has happened and what is happening right now. That is the job of the higher mind. The higher mind is on a fifth density state, right above fourth density, the template reality. And the conduit of imagination is this function of getting inspiration and getting more of what you've laid out for you wanted to experience. Now, these are all complicated concepts now. I mean, Bashar goes through the entire, I actually have it right here. There's an entire map. This one's seen in better days. Sometimes I used to put it up in the shower on the mirror, so that when I got out of the shower, I could actually look at it and start ingraining it. And Bashar was saying that it actually goes down to an electromagnetic level on the cellular level. It actually, every cell in your body starts to vibrate with this information. Just as you're watching this, your cells are going to vibrate with this information. Your DNA can be activated. You can actually, your DNA penetrates every aspect of your physical being, and once you can start activating it more and more, it's has a higher length than your neurological network in your brain, because you're such physical density. Your DNA is everywhere, and it's very high density, and it has the ability to do anything. You can, you're changing your reality billions of times a second. You're going through parallel reality after parallel reality, billions of times a second. It's a key to key into realities that you want. Now this map, you know, and the OverSoul, please observe, is on the top. And I forgot the name of this particular. I bought it. It's in there. I'll look it up. I'll try to put a link to Bashar's website, or at least put the name so you can go to Bashar's website and find it. And there's other ones on OverSoul as well on Bashar's website, and there's, you know, other people that talk about that as well. I just think this was an extraordinarily detailed map of how you have constructed yourself as a being, and it goes into all the density states and where you are, like the OverSoul up on the 7th density, spirit on the 6th, and so on and so forth. I won't get too much into that, but it is there as a tool. Go find it, use it. If you have questions, email me. I'll make you a list of things that you can go and check out and watch that are very useful. It is really just remembering that it's not happening to you, it's happening by you. This construct is showing that there are things that you outlined that you wanted to experience that you don't remember. You're going to start to remember a little bit more. There's a couple of videos that I've done that, you know, remembering the dream from Bashar's experience, recommendation of using your imagination to remember first contact, the experience that you've already had that you've forgotten, and some of the results of doing that, which are quite extraordinary. So I think this idea of thinking of yourself as the OverSoul is exceptionally useful in that there is no separation of that. It is, everything that's happening is happening by your own choice. And the most interesting thing in the point of paradox is that once you come to terms with that and you have a better understanding of that and you accept that, being okay with that is the only thing that will give those circumstances the best and most probable opportunity to change to a different parallel reality path, because they have served their purpose. They no longer are there. They're no longer necessary. They're not useful anymore. They just dissolve away. So being all right with those circumstances is about the only thing that gives it the opportunity to change, and that's paradoxal. And when you're at your point of paradox is when you're at your most powerful, because you know it's not possible for both of those things to be true, that you can have anything that you want, but you're experiencing this idea of lack, for instance, yet you know both are true. You know that you're an immortal being in a timeless reality that has chose to come into density, to chose to forget, and that you are the OverSoul. So anything is possible, everything is probable. When you come to terms with that, whatever was there that was needed to have that experience for your soul is now no longer needed, and it disappears, and now different parallel reality paths open up, different dimensionality open up. And that's really the key, is to remember that you're an OverSoul, that remember that you're an immortal being in a timeless reality that is forever. It's a fun game, and you set it up as such. Now this can be a fun game, so most people make it a drudgery, and I've personally done that myself. I made myself so sick that I was down and out for over a decade, and almost died hundreds of times. So that was a unique experience, let me tell you, because when you're an immortal being in a timeless reality, that type of experience isn't possible, because you know you can't die, and you know that these other experiences that you do with other people, some of which may not be equitable, or some of which may not be loving, are not possible in a higher energy state as well. So you came here to have these experiences, and Earth is a difficult school. It is not a kindergarten class. It is a master class. We've come to a place where we've actually mastered limitation, and we're coming out of limitation into great light. And this is just the beginning little specks of great light and great knowledge and great understanding. Sorry about that. Note to self, always mute laptop. So if you can just be in that energy state and be more with that. Another thing that I do is, I like to call it personal propaganda for myself, is that I have Bashar's I Am meditation, and when I'm twiddling around, or if I'm making something to eat, or in between doing different things, and I'm not listening to a particular set of exercises or what have you, there's a little 4-minute excerpt from the longer 15-minute meditation that's floating around, and I'll just play that and have it looped in the background, and I am myself into existence. So I hope that's helpful, and I think that's everything I wanted to share. Love and light, and have a fantastic day.